The story of human longevity begins long before sunrise, in the silent biochemical choreography that prepares every cell for the first light of day. Modern science has revealed that circadian rhythms do far more than control sleep. They govern metabolic efficiency, DNA repair, hormonal balance, mitochondrial performance, inflammation levels, and even how fast or slow the body ages. Studies now show that aligning your lifestyle with your biological clock can slow cellular aging markers, increase lifespan in animal models, improve metabolic resilience, stabilize mood, strengthen immunity, sharpen cognition, and optimize the body's ability to detoxify and repair itself. Researchers studying long-lived populations have found that their internal clocks operate with remarkable precision. And when circadian timing becomes misaligned, the body quietly shifts toward accelerated aging, chronic inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, and hormonal imbalance. The science is uncovering a simple but powerful truth. Longevity is deeply tied to timing, not just to what we eat or how we live. And today, we explore how this biological timing system shapes the destiny of your health. Circadian rhythms are not abstract ideas. They are biochemical schedules that regulate nearly every function in the human body. They synchronize cells across organs with astonishing accuracy, allowing the brain, liver, muscles, heart, and immune system to operate in harmony. When these rhythms are aligned with natural environmental cues, especially light and darkness, the body functions with remarkable efficiency. When they drift out of alignment, even by small margins, the consequences extend across multiple systems. Energy becomes unstable, metabolic control weakens, cognition becomes less sharp, and markers of inflammation slowly rise. Scientists now know that the circadian clock inside each cell uses cues from behavior, light, and food timing to determine when to repair, when to rest, when to burn fuel, and when to store energy. One of the most compelling discoveries in longevity science is that circadian rhythms directly influence how well DNA repair mechanisms work. During the night, the body activates specialized repair pathways that correct damage accumulated during the day. These are the same pathways linked with slower aging and reduction in age-related diseases. When circadian rhythms are disrupted, the efficiency of DNA repair drops, allowing mutations and cellular stress to accumulate. This is why irregular sleep patterns and exposure to artificial light at night are now considered biological stressors. They interfere with the timing of repair processes that are essential to long-term health. The circadian system also controls mitochondrial performance. Mitochondria, the power generators inside cells, operate with daily cycles. During daylight hours, they prioritize energy production, while at night they shift toward maintenance and repair. When these cycles are respected, mitochondria remain efficient, reducing oxidative stress and preventing premature cellular aging. When these cycles are broken, mitochondria experience continuous strain, producing excess free radicals and triggering inflammatory pathways. This is one of the underlying reasons why shift workers tend to experience higher rates of metabolic issues, fatigue, immune dysregulation, and other signs of accelerated aging. The immune system itself has a circadian structure. White blood cells move differently through the body depending on the time of day. Their ability to detect threats, eliminate damaged cells, and regulate inflammation follows a strict rhythm. Aligned rhythms support strong immunity, while disrupted rhythms increase susceptibility to infections, inflammation, and slower recovery. Scientists have observed that even the timing of fevers, antibody production, and inflammatory responses is regulated by the circadian clock. Hormones follow this same internal schedule. Cortisol peaks in the early morning to prepare the body for activity, while melatonin rises at night to initiate repair processes and stabilize the nervous system. Growth hormone is released in deep sleep, supporting muscle maintenance, cellular renewal, and metabolic health. When these rhythms are stable, energy remains steady, and the body ages more slowly. When rhythms drift, hormonal imbalances become more frequent, affecting mood, appetite, metabolism, and overall vitality. Food timing is another powerful lever influencing circadian health. Research shows that eating earlier in the day improves insulin sensitivity, enhances metabolic clarity, and reduces the risk of metabolic disease. Late-night eating, even when calories remain identical, disrupts metabolic efficiency and increases markers linked to aging. The digestive system is not designed to work at full capacity during the night, and when it is forced to do so, it interferes with repair pathways and increases the metabolic load on cells. Light is the master synchronizer of the circadian clock. Morning light exposure activates the brain's central clock, stabilizing energy, improving mood, and aligning the timing of hormones, digestion, and temperature regulation. At night, darkness signals the body to transition into repair mode. Exposure to bright screens or artificial light during this time suppresses melatonin and delays the onset of essential nighttime processes. This mismatch between environment and biology contributes to long-term metabolic strain and affects how efficiently the body regenerates. Circadian rhythms also influence cognitive performance. Memory formation, learning ability, emotional regulation, and mental clarity all fluctuate according to the internal clock. When circadian timing is aligned, the brain works with higher efficiency and resilience. When disrupted, mental fog, irritability, and reduced attention span become more common, even if total sleep hours remain the same. This means longevity is not only about living longer, it is also about maintaining cognitive sharpness throughout life. As the field of chronobiology continues expanding, scientists are discovering that nearly every intervention known to extend lifespan interacts with circadian rhythms. Fasting, exercise, nutrient timing, and even stress management work more effectively when synchronized with the body's internal clock. The emerging consensus is clear. The circadian system is one of the most powerful and overlooked regulators of long-term health, deeply connected to cellular aging, metabolic efficiency, immune strength, and overall vitality. Circadian rhythms form a communication network that allows organs to cooperate rather than compete. Each organ has its own internal clock, but all of them rely on a central pacemaker in the brain to synchronize their activity. When this coordination works correctly, the body distributes energy, manages stress responses, and repairs damage with precision. When coordination breaks down, organs begin operating out of sync, creating inefficiencies that compound over time. This internal desynchronization is increasingly recognized as a driver of early biological aging. One of the strongest examples of this coordination is glucose metabolism. Insulin sensitivity follows a daily rhythm, peaking earlier in the day and declining at night. When people eat the majority of their calories late in the day, the body struggles to process glucose efficiently, leading to higher blood sugar, more oxidative stress, and increased fat storage. Studies show that individuals who shift their eating window earlier experience improvements in metabolic markers without changing calorie intake. This demonstrates how powerful circadian alignment is. The timing of food can produce measurable health effects even when diet quality remains the same. The liver, one of the most metabolically active organs, depends heavily on circadian timing. It follows a daily cycle of detoxification, nutrient processing, and energy regulation. At night, it prioritizes clearing toxins and repairing cellular structures. When food is consumed late at night, especially high-fat or high-sugar meals, the liver's repair routines are interrupted. Over time, this mismatch contributes to inflammation, fat accumulation, and metabolic dysfunction. Aligning food timing with the liver's natural rhythm supports better detoxification, more stable energy, and a healthier metabolic profile. Temperature regulation is another rhythm-driven process. Core body temperature rises during the day to support alertness and physical performance, then decreases at night to help initiate sleep. This cooling triggers a cascade of repair mechanisms that cannot function properly when body temperature stays elevated, for example due to late workouts, heavy meals, or prolonged screen exposure. Maintaining consistency in daily temperature cycles helps stabilize sleep patterns and enhances nighttime regeneration. Muscle tissue also possesses its own circadian schedule. Strength, coordination, and reaction time peak at specific hours, and training in alignment with these hours can improve performance and recovery. Research shows that muscles repair more efficiently during sleep, but only when the body has already entered a consolidated nighttime rhythm. Disrupted sleep reduces the release of growth-related hormones and slows tissue repair, affecting long-term physical resilience. The cardiovascular system relies on circadian rhythms to regulate blood pressure, heart rate, and vascular flexibility. Blood pressure naturally dips during sleep, a phenomenon known as nocturnal dipping, which gives the heart a crucial period of reduced workload. When sleep is fragmented or circadian timing is disrupted, this dipping effect weakens, placing more strain on the cardiovascular system. Over years, even small irregularities can accumulate into long-term risk. Supporting healthy sleep patterns helps maintain the heart's natural rhythm and reduces biological stress on blood vessels. Circadian rhythms also govern how efficiently the body handles oxidative stress. Antioxidant enzymes fluctuate across the day, providing stronger protection during certain hours. When rhythms are disrupted, the balance between free radicals and antioxidants becomes less stable, leading to more oxidative damage inside cells. This damage plays a role in aging and many chronic conditions. Keeping the circadian system aligned strengthens the body's innate defense mechanisms and supports healthier cellular environments. Sleep, often considered simply a period of rest, is actually a highly organized circadian process. During deep sleep, the brain switches into a clearance mode, removing metabolic waste products accumulated during the day. This clearance is crucial for cognitive longevity and brain health. When circadian rhythms are inconsistent, this cleaning cycle becomes less efficient, allowing waste proteins to accumulate. Maintaining stable sleep patterns supports the brain's natural maintenance system and helps preserve cognitive function. Longevity research has also revealed that circadian rhythms influence telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that shorten with age. More stable sleep patterns and strong circadian alignment are associated with slower telomere shortening, suggesting that internal timing plays a role in cellular protection. While genetics influence telomere length, lifestyle choices, especially those involving circadian health, significantly impact how quickly these structures degrade. Another area where circadian rhythms play a vital role is inflammation. Inflammatory molecules follow daily patterns, and the immune system coordinates repair responses at certain times. When rhythms become unstable, inflammation becomes more constant and less controlled, contributing to the gradual buildup of chronic inflammation associated with aging. Supporting circadian alignment reduces this inflammatory load and strengthens the body's natural healing capacity. The microbiome, the enormous community of beneficial bacteria living in the gut, also operates according to circadian timing. These microbes shift their activity based on feeding cycles, light exposure, and sleep patterns. When circadian rhythms are stable, the microbiome maintains balance, supporting digestion, immunity, and metabolic health. Disruption leads to microbial imbalance, which can affect nutrient absorption, mood regulation, and inflammation levels. Aligning daily habits with biological rhythms supports a healthier internal ecosystem. As research in chronobiology advances, scientists are discovering how deeply intertwined circadian rhythms are with every hallmark of aging. Cellular repair, metabolic efficiency, hormonal stability, immune strength, and cognitive performance all rely on consistent biological timing. When people align their lifestyle with these rhythms, the body operates with greater stability and resilience. When alignment breaks down, subtle dysfunctions accumulate, shaping long-term health trajectories. Circadian rhythms influence how the body uses energy in ways that go far beyond sleep and wake cycles. The process of switching between energy storage and energy burning is guided by internal clocks inside cells. During the day, the body is primed to use glucose efficiently, supporting movement, focus, and alertness. At night, the system shifts toward fat metabolism and cellular repair. When eating patterns disrupt this balance, the metabolic system becomes confused, leading to reduced insulin sensitivity and slower fat-burning capacity. This is one reason time-aligned eating patterns produce measurable improvements in metabolic health even without changing total calorie intake. Hormonal balance is also tied directly to circadian timing. Leptin and ghrelin, two hormones involved in appetite regulation, follow a daily cycle. When rhythms are stable, hunger signals remain predictable, and appetite is easier to manage. When sleep patterns shift irregularly, leptin drops and ghrelin rises, producing stronger hunger, more cravings, and less control over food choices. This pattern is linked with weight gain and metabolic instability. Maintaining consistent sleep and wake times helps regulate appetite naturally and supports healthier long-term energy balance. Another important aspect of circadian function is blood sugar control. The pancreas produces insulin and other metabolic hormones following a strict internal schedule. When meals occur at times misaligned with this schedule, the pancreas must work harder, increasing metabolic strain. Research shows that glucose tolerance is highest in the morning and lowest at night. Aligning meals with this natural rhythm reduces metabolic stress and supports longevity by improving how efficiently the body manages fuel. Circadian rhythms also regulate blood pressure and vascular tone. Blood vessels become more flexible at certain times of the day, allowing the cardiovascular system to adapt to physical and emotional demands. When circadian rhythm stability weakens, this flexibility declines, increasing the workload on the heart. Over years, the cumulative strain contributes to earlier signs of vascular aging. Keeping daily rhythms consistent helps maintain cardiovascular resilience and supports long-term heart health. The endocrine system relies heavily on circadian signals. Hormones such as thyroid hormone, cortisol, melatonin, and sex hormones follow predictable patterns that regulate energy, mood, immunity, and reproduction. When disrupted, these patterns become irregular, affecting how effectively the body responds to stress, how efficiently it uses nutrients, and how stable mood remains throughout the day. Chronobiology research shows that even small improvements in circadian stability can lead to clearer thinking, better metabolic function, and more stable emotional regulation. Circadian alignment also supports cognitive longevity. The brain strengthens neural connections and consolidates memories during specific phases of sleep. These phases are triggered and coordinated by circadian timing. When rhythms are inconsistent, memory consolidation becomes less efficient, and cognitive performance declines even if sleep duration remains the same. Long-term studies show that individuals with strong circadian regularity maintain better mental performance as they age and experience slower cognitive decline. Immune function depends heavily on internal timing. Immune cells circulate more actively at certain times of the day, and their ability to identify harmful agents fluctuates according to circadian signals. Vaccination studies even show different immune responses depending on the time of administration, demonstrating how deeply immune function is tied to biological rhythms. Consistent circadian patterns help the immune system coordinate repair, fight infections, and regulate inflammation with greater precision. Another powerful rhythm-controlled system is detoxification. The liver's enzymatic activity rises and falls across the day, controlling how efficiently the body clears toxins and metabolic waste. Natural detoxification peaks during the night. When sleep is delayed or disrupted, this peak becomes less effective, allowing more metabolic waste to accumulate. Over time, this contributes to systemic stress and affects longevity. Supporting consistent nighttime rhythms strengthens detoxification pathways and reduces the burden on metabolic organs. The skin, often considered a cosmetic organ, actually follows a well-defined circadian program. During the day, it focuses on protection, strengthening its barrier against environmental stressors. At night, it shifts into repair mode, increasing collagen production, cellular turnover, and antioxidant activity. When circadian rhythms are disturbed, the skin's barrier becomes weaker and recovery slows. This leads to earlier signs of aging, dryness, and increased sensitivity. Supporting circadian alignment enhances the skin's natural recovery and contributes to healthier aging. The digestive system also depends on circadian timing. Stomach acid production, enzyme release, and gut motility vary throughout the day. When meals occur at irregular times or late at night, digestion becomes less efficient and more stressful to the gut. Over time, this affects nutrient absorption and increases the risk of gastrointestinal discomfort. Aligning meals with daylight supports digestive health and reduces strain on the gastrointestinal tract. Circadian rhythms extend into the skeletal system as well. Bone-forming cells and bone-resorbing cells follow alternating cycles controlled by internal clocks. When rhythms become disrupted, bone density can decline more rapidly, increasing the risk of fragility over time. Supporting circadian balance helps maintain stronger bone structure and long-term skeletal health. Mitochondrial efficiency, a core component of longevity, is strongly influenced by circadian signals. These organelles follow daily patterns of energy production and repair. When rhythms are respected, mitochondria generate energy cleanly and efficiently. When rhythms are disrupted, mitochondria produce more oxidative byproducts, adding stress to cells. Long-term misalignment accelerates mitochondrial aging. Realigning daily routines supports more efficient cellular energy production. As the relationship between circadian rhythms and longevity becomes clearer, scientists are identifying circadian misalignment as a significant risk factor for early biological aging. Subtle daily habits, inconsistent sleep, irregular meal timing, prolonged exposure to artificial light, gradually shift internal clocks away from their natural calibration. Restoring alignment reverses many of these negative effects, improving metabolic markers, stabilizing hormones, supporting cognitive clarity, and enhancing resilience across biological systems. Circadian rhythms also influence how the body responds to stress. Cortisol, often referred to as the stress hormone, follows a precise daily curve. It rises sharply in the morning to support alertness and gradually falls throughout the day. When rhythms are stable, this pattern remains predictable and balanced, helping the body manage daily stress efficiently. When rhythms are irregular, cortisol peaks become mistimed, leading to prolonged stress responses, reduced resilience, and greater wear on the nervous system. Over time, this mismatch influences aging by accelerating metabolic strain and weakening the body's ability to maintain internal balance. Another critical area involves cellular cleanup processes, particularly autophagy. Autophagy is the mechanism by which cells remove damaged components and recycle them for repair. This process is tied directly to circadian timing, becoming more active during nighttime fasting periods. When the sleep-wake cycle becomes irregular, or when late-night eating interrupts the fasting window, autophagy becomes less efficient. Reduced autophagy is associated with faster cellular aging, decreased metabolic flexibility, and increased vulnerability to chronic conditions. Supporting circadian alignment strengthens these essential cleanup processes. Even the way the brain processes emotions is influenced by daily rhythms. The prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate decision-making and emotional responses, functions more efficiently during certain hours. When circadian rhythms are disrupted, emotional stability becomes harder to maintain. Irritability, decreased motivation, and reduced stress tolerance become more common. With stable rhythms, the brain maintains stronger emotional regulation, contributing to long-term mental well-being and healthier aging. Circadian rhythms also shape physical performance. Reaction time, muscle strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular output follow predictable patterns. When exercise is aligned with these patterns, performance improves and recovery becomes more efficient. When physical activity is performed at times that contradict biological timing, the body experiences greater strain and slower recovery. Supporting circadian stability allows muscles, joints, and the cardiovascular system to adapt more effectively to activity, reinforcing long-term vitality. One of the most interesting discoveries in chronobiology involves the timing of gene expression. Thousands of genes switch on and off at specific hours of the day, coordinating repair, metabolism, immunity, and detoxification. When circadian alignment weakens, these genetic patterns become less coordinated, reducing the efficiency of cellular functions. Strengthening circadian stability helps maintain more consistent gene expression, supporting healthier aging at the molecular level. Another field of research explores how circadian rhythms influence metabolic flexibility, the ability of the body to switch between burning carbohydrates and burning fat. Disrupted rhythms weaken this flexibility, leading to more glucose dependence, faster energy crashes, and reduced endurance. When rhythms are supported, the body shifts smoothly between fuel sources, improving metabolic stability and energy consistency throughout the day. Longevity research also shows that consistent circadian rhythms support healthier cardiovascular aging. The heart relies on predictable cycles of workload and rest. Healthy sleep patterns allow the heart to enter restorative phases where pressure, inflammation, and oxidative stress are reduced. When circadian timing is irregular, this nightly recovery is compromised, placing chronic strain on the cardiovascular system. Supporting consistent rhythms helps protect long-term heart health and reduces the biological stress accumulated over time. Circadian alignment also plays a role in hormonal coordination across the reproductive system. Hormone release in both men and women follows daily cycles that influence energy, mood, and overall physiological stability. When circadian rhythms weaken, hormonal fluctuations become less predictable, which can affect mood, energy levels, and certain aspects of long-term health. Maintaining stable rhythms supports balanced endocrine function and contributes to healthier aging. Another important area shaped by circadian rhythms is immune surveillance, the ability of the immune system to detect and eliminate damaged or malfunctioning cells. This includes processes that protect the body from infections and support long-term cellular health. When circadian rhythms are inconsistent, immune cells respond less efficiently and inflammatory markers remain elevated for longer periods. When rhythms are aligned, immune responses become more precise, supporting both short-term protection and long-term resilience. Circadian stability also influences how well the brain communicates with the rest of the body through the autonomic nervous system. Heart rate variability, an indicator of nervous system balance, improves when circadian rhythms are strong. This reflects better resilience, stronger stress recovery, and healthier aging. When rhythms weaken, heart rate variability declines, signaling reduced adaptability. Strengthening circadian timing improves this communication network and supports long-term vitality. The endocrine, immune, cardiovascular, digestive, neurological, and metabolic systems all depend on precise timing to function optimally. When these systems fall out of sync, the body compensates. But compensation comes with a cost: higher inflammation, reduced metabolic efficiency, and increased oxidative stress. These factors, over years, influence biological aging. When rhythms are restored, the body returns to operating within its natural patterns, reducing internal friction and promoting healthier aging. As modern science continues to uncover the connection between circadian rhythms and longevity, it becomes increasingly clear that internal timing is one of the strongest foundations of long-term health. Aligning daily habits with natural biological rhythms enhances energy, stabilizes metabolism, strengthens immunity, improves cognitive clarity, and supports healthier cellular function. These rhythms act as a master regulator, influencing nearly every mechanism connected with aging. Supporting circadian rhythms does not require dramatic lifestyle changes. It begins with consistent sleep schedules, morning light exposure, earlier daytime eating, reduced nighttime light, and stable daily routines. These choices allow the internal clocks in your cells to operate with precision, strengthening the biological foundation that supports long-term health and vitality. As research expands, circadian alignment is emerging as a key factor in slowing biological aging and maintaining resilience across the lifespan, reaffirming that the body's natural timing system is one of the most powerful tools available for supporting longevity.